Hey, welcome in, cuties. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Welcome in, Elgendo. Welcome in, Rookie, and welcome in, StarQ. A long time no stream. I'm not even sure if I remember how to play this game anymore. Please don't bully me with electricity boxes. I'm already overwhelmed having to stream at all since I haven't so long. Well, I shouldn't say have to. I want to stream, but yes, it's been quite a while. We were last finishing up this favela, which I have made exactly zero progress on. So this is still bound to get finished. But in the very little time that I found playing off stream, I might have accidentally started a new town. This looks like nothing yet. I think this is horrible, but but I think this will be very cute. I don't think we're gonna go super hard on this city. I mainly need something to showcase the next asset I'm gonna put out, which is this asset over here. And I need a city where we can use a lot of surfaces, because I made a lot of surfaces. And in Los Vagos, we can't use surfaces as well, because our entire roads are dirt roads. And here, I don't want dirt roads. I actually want to surface all of the streets. So it's gonna be a moment. And you mean insane to the favela? It's still not entirely finished. I appreciate that you like it, Jefe, especially as you have given very good input on the favela. I don't think it's done yet. We're close. We're very close, but there is still too many places where there is no people. I want the entire favela to be like this, where you have people in the balcony, in the roofs, and everywhere. So we're basically ready. But I don't feel like favela today. Maybe later. I think as I have not streamed so long, we will probably jump around quite a bit today and look at different things. There's been so many good new assets as well, which I should showcase some of them. But I have not played it in so long that I don't even fully remember what new assets there are. One of the very recent new assets, ignore this ugly piece of trash plop down in the other side here. But this, for example, is one of the newest assets we've been getting and is beautiful. I have to say, I'm a big fan of this, especially for the size of it. I have to admit, I'm never sure how to pronounce his name the best. Kimchi? Kinda like the Japanese salad, I guess. I'm just gonna say KJ so I don't make fun of myself, but yes, absolutely stunning and a lovely size that we have. I think the game is really lacking in residential assets that are not either very small or very big. But yes, this is absolutely beautiful. And there is another beautiful thing happening here in the back. And I'm sure you guys can realize that we never had double stack containers in the past. I always was hoping that we get some of them, and Dragon has done us the favor and put out double stack containers. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and welcome in Maestro. Maestro himself has also put out quite new beautiful things, but they're either completely Dresden branded or they're trumps, and we're not yet ready for trumps. But Maestro, I'm gonna give you a small look. This city will have trumps. This city is still really ugly and for now really just a skyline placeholder. but sooner or later we will get Trumps. I spent quite a lot of the little time I had off stream to build in some infrastructure because I decided, especially here with the yes, there is a tram driving there. It is true, but the city is so ugly that I don't want to look at it more appropriate. But building out this favela, I decided that I don't like anymore that this entire canyon here is empty. So we started kinda working out how to bring this into shape later on. I built an intersection, which I have not really cleaned this up, so there is issues with it. It's not a horrible intersection for my standards. I suck at road work, so I'm satisfied enough with it. Then I'm curious. Thanks so much for the follow, Red, and welcome in. Nice to see you in here. But I'm curious what Maestro is gonna say to the rail here. Is this allowed the way I'm doing it? Is this too harsh? Is this fine? And Red Blazer, if you, I hope I pronounce the name right, but if you would like a city tour of what we're building here, gladly stream or ask, or scream or ask. I have built all of this, but you would have to go a bit more in ground level to actually see the detail of it. Yeah, I did go over it and improve it a bit. I'm still not perfectly happy. The one thing I still struggle with a bit is that I will need one connection here. Somewhere, I don't know how to bring this across the best. Maybe around here, actually. There, I guess this would be the best. But this is still needed. Otherwise, right now, we have some trains that go down here, go here, and turn around, and sometimes cause lockup. Oh yeah, that guy seemed to have messaged everyone. He also messaged Gaga and StarQ, and I guess he's a little feisty that people didn't like him shitting on everybody. And one thing I really want to build eventually as well, maybe we could even use that here, but I have not figured where the space for it is. Maestro is gonna like this, but you guys are aware of in the Rockies having these train spirals to gain altitude pretty much, or elevation, I guess, in in that sense. I would love to have something like that. I absolutely love this in the Rockies. In the Rockies, I sadly I don't remember the place in the Rockies where it was called, but you see the train going in the tunnel in the bottom, and then the trains in Canada are often so long that you see the end and the start of it. I'm actually not sure if it's in the US side of the Rockies or in the Canadian side of it, but I would love to somehow bring that into our build somewhere. Where we can do so, I'm not super sure, but I hope we manage. But yes, future music. For now, this is where we're at. You are the issue, StarQ. Are you ever not the issue? I think he assessed that situation perfectly fine. But yes, I think where we're diving into today is this, which I'm a bit overwhelmed because I think I've done a fairly solid job at finding a rough base layout. Obviously, all of this is bound to change. I think while usually I start building cities from the outside and then work my way in, I think we're gonna do the exact opposite here. And we're gonna dive in the start here and work our way out. Again, I'm not entirely sure how we want this the best, and I hope we can get this to be a kind of cute, small Art Deco Australian slash US mix city. It's a lot of beautiful Trist assets. Trist has been on an absolute tear lately. Not only his old one. See, Elgando, I'm gonna be a bitch. I want only my surfaces in this city. The ones I don't think any of you have seen yet. The reason for that is because I need a showcase city for these surfaces. I made a lot of different surfaces. They are all, here comes one very cool thing. They are all vanilla surfaces, but they happen to be inside the EIA UI, which Triton put up a system that is very clever. No, don't delete them. I want to use them, just not in this city. In this city, we have to use some of my stuff so I can showcase it. But the reason, or I want to explain this real quick because this actually is really cool. The way this works is that all of these surfaces, when you have no other mods than my surfaces, they will all be in this tab where surfaces usually go into. You understand? Thanks to what Triton built, we have a way to use a component, and the moment somebody has extra lib installed, which I'm gonna be brave and say out of my viewers, probably 99% have extra lib installed. The moment you have extra lib installed, extra lib takes these from the overloaded surface UI here and moves them into the EIA UI, which makes stuff a lot easier. We can have a real quick look at them. It's nothing special. I made one set of different asphalts. I'll have to go over the colors a bit as well. I think some of these are a tad too bright, but generally I think they work great and they have a lot less repetition than many of the concrete surfaces we have in game right now. So these work very well, even in very big areas without getting ugly repetition. So I quite like them. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. There is one thing I make very different than other people with their surfaces, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to make surfaces in general. I'm gonna make a quick showcase here of what I mean. One of the things that's always been really problematic for me with the vanilla surfaces is the following. You draw this not even a vanilla surface, but it faces the same issue. You draw this, and then you draw a second surface next to it, and you get these ugly overlaps, right? This surface actually is a lot better than some of the vanilla ones in that regard. I think the worst example probably is the vanilla asphalt ones, where yes, you get this. I despise this, is horrible, because in many situations, as for example here, we are not able to draw our surface in a single piece. I want them to seamlessly go from one into the other, right? And none of the vanilla surfaces have ever allowed that, making it really annoying. Yes, we're losing that we have a bit nicer overlap, right? So it does come with a downside. I think it's a very acceptable downside. And yes, we have cobblestone as well. I can give you a quick, if you care about it, we can have a look at all of them real quick. We had a look at the concrete ones. This is asphalt ones. Really, I don't think they were anything special. They are quite generic. This one has an issue. I can see that right away. This one I need to retouch. I changed this, but I guess I didn't save it. So there is a reason they are not published yet, because there is small things I still need to fix. Mostly, I think they work beautiful, and I really like that they have quite a lot of action going on. but they still have very little repetition. I think they work very well, even from far away. And Rookie is gonna be a bit more excited. I have to move the category of these because I think they should be in pavement as well, not in rock. But yes, we have some cobblestone-like surfaces as well. I think some of these work really well. Some of these are definitely what I want to use for the road in this area. We can play around a bit today as well, have a look at them, but yes, these are all the cobblestone surfaces. Obviously, they have a bit of repetition, right? It's unavoidable. You can see it as well, but I minimize it as far as somehow possible. I think this is probably my favorite one because it's really run down old cobblestone, very much how you would see it in an old downtown. I don't know, in old German streets, this is very common visually. So, big fan of this surface. This is probably one of the ones we're going to use a lot. This I also really like. I have to say, this should run a tad smaller. I think this is a bit too tall in size. So, not perfect, but close enough. If you want to see one longer, gladly ask and I can go back. But yes, I guess this is cobblestone. So you get some cobblestone. And then this one is also running a little too big right now, is a very traditional fan pattern. And they do have normal maps, but they are very light. I think normal maps look ugly in surfaces if they are too strong. Even if you look at the normal maps of these, they are soft, but yes, all of these have roughness and normal map and everything. I might turn them up a little again. I detuned the normal maps very harshly. So maybe some of them are a bit too little now, but I think the normal maps look ugly if they're too strong. And we have a set of tiled surfaces, which some of them also work for non-tiled things, but this has to be one of my very favorites as well. I love this surface. Obviously not for a road. This is a bit in the wrong spot right now. How do I turn off road name? I will just go here. And welcome in, Honu. Nice to see you. Can you by now? I actually did you edit? I had so little time playing lately that okay, I love it. That is very cool. That actually is very, very cool. Yes. Luca, I love all of your mods, Luca. I'm an outspoken platter hater. I want to elaborate on this because when I say it, that sounds a lot meaner than I mean it. Also, first things first, very lovely. And also thanks to my cute girlfriend for subbing to me. I feel like I paid somebody, but the reason, see, hear me out, Luca. The reason I'm not a Platter fan is not because I don't think Platter is a great mod. I think Platter is an amazing mod for anybody who zones. For me, Platter doesn't solve anything. I'm a plopper by heart. I want control of everything. I want the building I choose to be where I put it. I want it to never change and I want it to look exactly like it looks. So Platter, amazing mod. I think it's great. I'm happy we have it, and I think for the gameplay of many people, it's gonna be really nice. For me, Platter is kind of a no-go. But not because I don't think it's not a well-made good mod. I did look at it. I think Platter is amazing, but it's just not a mod that I need. And thank you, Rookie, and thank you, Maestro, that is very, very, very nice of you. Yes,
Place an
Luca, you
electricity
have
box.
absolutely understood this the correct way. What I just said is Platter is a bad mod. Platter breaks your game. Everybody should uninstall it right away. And it's
Bola
not
time.
really about the mod. It's just that I dislike Luca personally very much, very hateful. So it is absolutely true. Sadly, Luca, I have to say, you've got me there. And we got bowler time. Also, welcome in, Friedrich. Nice to see you, and thanks for all of the support, you cuties. We have a bowler time, which is a bit difficult because we will definitely need a lot of bowlers here, but we're not far enough yet. But we can try our luck. I would never bully this chat. I would never, never, never bully this chat. Luca, actually, see, the problem is I have not played in so long. I actually wanted to properly make progress and play today, but then there is so many amazing things that happened that I will have to show a lot of things as well. And I don't really want to show much. I just want to play the game. But talking about Luca, Luca gave us something really, really, really nice. And it's this. You guys can see that this looks a bit different than for most people. And we can make it even more different. Luca released this mod, which, pardon me, I don't remember the name of it. But 10 out of 10 mod. It allows you to change the density. I sometimes use a very small one. My favorite one is a medium one because I can still see nice what's happening and do everything around it. It's super nice. It has this, which mainly is a big difference. This is how it is in vanilla. And then thanks to Luca, we can do this and we can actually see, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So big fan of it. And shout out to Luca. Yes, asset menu tweaks. Exactly. There you go. Again, the problem is that I had too little time to play lately, so there is so much that we could look at and show off. I don't think we can show everything, but we can try. Again, back to the word surfaces. This, I think, Rookie would probably like, because this is very German slash Austrian. I'm sure also everywhere else in the world, but I have never seen this as much. Yeah, you do make a point, Const.
Place an electricity
Ah,
box.
no, please. Today's not the day, guys. I've not played this game in a long, long time. We actually wanna play the game today. It's your fault if I release the surfaces even slower. Maestro and Con specifically. Everybody else is innocent, but Maestro and Cons are the two people to blame.
Get the rocks.
No,
I do. Yeah, get the rock. Get the rocks.
I absolutely don't plan to make net lanes of these. And the reason is a very simple one. These are vanilla. I don't want to release any EIA stuff anymore, as much as I think EIA has been absolutely fundamental for a game and for what we had. Now, I don't want to release any EIA stuff anymore, and we don't have any vanilla net lanes yet, or we don't have any documentation for them, so nope, I don't plan on doing so. And
Place an
it
electricity
is what
box.
it. See, I can accept that my entire chat bullies me because you're all horrible people. The person bullying me now is my girlfriend. Like, this is how is
Place an
this?
electricity box.
And not even just once. see, the lesson we can learn together today is if you can avoid getting a girlfriend / wife in your life, you better do so for your own sanity. I'm sure many of the married dads in my chat can very much agree with that sentiment. Because if so, you will get bullied in your Twitch chat.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Welcome in Picana. I didn't even see you were streaming, and even more so, you streaming on Twitch. I'm a big fan of that. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, everybody. It's been my first stream in a long time. So bear with me. I'm trying to learn how to play this game again. I hope you had a nice stream. What were you up to today? And how come you are streaming on Twitch? I like it. More of you huge big creators should join in on Twitch as well. And just so for the raiders, I don't only show the boring unfinished parts. I'm gonna go over to the most recent, not yet finished, but a lot more interesting part of the city that we built so far. This has been the last big project we've been working on, all but finished. So it's gonna take a while, but we're getting there. It still needs a bit more love, a bit more detail, but in general,
That's cute.
I think this is starting to go in a very right direction. Probably one of my better builds I ever done, and a very tedious one. I think most people who play this game can imagine how tedious this must have been. But yes, I had a great time building this. Oh, airport, Picana, I have good news for you. There is a lot of stuff happening regarding planes in my Discord right now. Nyoko and Dragon together are trying to properly animate the gears for all of the planes that Nyoko put out. And if you take your time with the airport, I think you will have a lot nicer planes than what you do right now. There is nice things happening regarding airplanes. We bullied Noko to go back and fix all of the stuff without LDC mate. And he's been a busy bee and hitting back on it. So hopefully there will be even nicer things for your airport. I would also have to, yeah, I mean, the planes can be switched out later easily, so it's not like you have to wait for it. But I think it's still, like, depending on the airport you build. My airport I built over a year ago. Not that difficult to replace all planes. In fact, I should replace all planes because we did not have the editor when I built this. And we now have a lot nicer things. But I would be annoyed to even replace all of these trains, so I get it. There, I can relate. You know how long I've been at this build, Picana, and how small it still is, so I can relate. I'm always slower than anybody else. Most likely. And how is that possible? I don't know. You just place buildings. I mean, a lot of this is obviously unfunctional and cheated. Most of it is functional. I tried very hard. But yes, there definitely is the higher ones up here are basically just decoration, which I wish we could do it otherwise, but it's just not possible. Like something like this, we cannot make this accessible, right? Otherwise, we would have to have cars drive through here, and obviously, I don't want car drive through here. I like that. I actually love it. Picana is one of the people who got me into playing this game. I'm still fairly new to Cities Skylines. I shouldn't say fairly new anymore. I'm playing this game for like 1.5 years now. And one of the reasons why I started playing this game is because I was watching people like Picana on YouTube, and I enjoyed calming down to watching people build a city on YouTube after work. And eventually, after watching Picana and Moose and Sully and Infrastructurist for a while, I decided, enough of just watching. I want to play this as well. So I'm very happy. But yes, back to the surfaces we started to look at. This is one of them. This is one of the crazier ones. I guess this will be not finding super much usage. I do think it looks very nice though, especially in smaller areas. I think this gets a bit too repetitive if it's too big. And then we have more. I think a lot of these are actually pretty typical German. Like this one, you will see in any German newer development. So a lot of these. And then we have another cobblestone, which I guess this should be in a different. I should move this over to the rock surfaces. But yes, I'm looking forward to your airport. And this, I also see, guys, look here, I have a wrong thumbnail. This is why they're not released yet, because I do need to fix some. This, again, a bit braver one. I think it is beautiful. We have a lot of similar ones in this black-white vibes as this one. The difference is that I think this is a lot dirtier. I think most of the black and white ones we have are super heavy contrast in your face and are a bit too extreme. So I'm a big fan of these because they are very similar but a bit lighter. Obviously, you wouldn't use these for a road or something, but as we're looking at the surfaces here, I think it's obvious. And here also you see these stripes, right? These are just from the road, so that is not repetition in my surface. That is coming from the road itself. But yes, again, very typical German, fairly similar to the other ones that I already showed, but slightly different. And now all of these are very similar in style. And I think I will really like these because they're very generic. For me, it's always been an issue how little generic things we have in the game. So a lot of these are not super interesting, but very generic and fairly flat. I mainly care about this, that we have surfaces that don't have this silly gap if we line them up to each other, because the moment they have this gap, I cannot properly work with them. And obviously, color-wise, these are all somewhat Los Vagos heavy, but you guys feel free to give any critic. It's super easy with the editor to adjust these surfaces. Like, after having made the base, if anybody would be like, hey, I want this surface in a dark gray, please. Yes, that takes me 5 seconds to add, and that does not add additional file size. So please ask and go from it. I mean, the surfaces are not super stained, but for a specific reason. They are definitely more stained than vanilla stuff, but if you go into heavier staining of stuff, then the problem you get is that they will look very repetitive at a distance, and obviously that's not something we want. So these are a bit more careful. And the other thing, which I guess for this I should change the sunlight. The other thing where I just made the surfaces for is this. This is an asset I've been Actually, not working on super long. I just had little time, so I never properly finished it. But yes, we have this cute asset over here, which is a nice, cute town hall. It's nothing special. It already had horrible people like Gaga drawing on here, or even Elgando sprayed on here. No, none of these is on PDX mods yet. It should be this weekend, but I said the same last weekend and then it didn't happen. So bear with me. I've been very busy lately, that's why I've been streaming so little as well. But I hope soon both the surfaces as well as this, the surfaces first, because these are using the surfaces. Because one of the things I'm fairly proud about this thing, there is a few ones, but if we take this town hall, you can see if we take asset variation changer, not only do you see the color switch nicely, the surfaces you don't see, but the surfaces will also, maybe I did something wrong because they should vary. Did I break it? What did I do? Oh, no, actually they do vary. As you can see, if you place these multiple times, you will get different surfaces, right? So all of this is using placeholder surfaces. For example, here I'm using rock placeholder surfaces, and then it is changing throughout the surfaces. Yeah, it is varying. I just didn't see this. Maybe, Starkey, you can tell me this. One of the few issues I'm having right now is this, and I don't understand why this is happening. This surface always decides to, it goes, this surface and this surface, they stop exactly at the same place. Both of these go exactly up into here. This one always decides to do this, and these don't. And I don't understand, because if we look at anything vanilla, I'm not sure if this is a good example, but yes, the vanilla surfaces generally extend till the lot border or above the lot border, but only to the street. And this surface, for me, does this nonsense. And I have not understood why yet. It's one of the few things I need to fix. And then probably I want to show you real quick. One of the things I'm the most proud about with this thing is the light. Because I think lightning in this game is very ugly. So I went ahead and made a lot of custom light sources. Are you sure on that? I want mine to overlay the road because I need it to. But then why are these different? Why is this not getting longer, but this one is? They should both behave the same at least. But I hope you guys can see these. I need to put a bit brighter than it is right now. But I hope you guys can see that these light sources are very different than vanilla light sources. They are a lot more damp and they are a lot less bright. If we want to have a comparison, we need to find, something like this. This is how the
Bola
lightning
time.
in vanilla looks. I always hated it with passion. I think this is horrible. Why is it so bright, especially in rural areas? Why is this light brighter? Yes, I changed a lot about it. I changed the distances, the colors, the the lumen, all of this is adjusted for these, and suddenly I think lightning can look very beautiful. Yeah, I'm not sure. You could actually check that if you're interested in checking. So then you could check that. I think the vanilla ones are all between 4,000 and 5,000. I think I'm around like 2,500 or something like that. So Yes, this is exactly. See, I agree with my cute miss. The reason I wanted to have this lightning be very different is that I think this is so uncozy. Like if you look at these lights, this is so uninviting. This looks so industrial and like a factory. So I never liked it. And the good news is it is a bit tedious, but it is a very well-made system. Like the the way how you adjust the lights in the editor and you can play around with the light sources is very well made. I cannot say any different. So most likely this is something that we will keep doing in future, where we will go in and actually make proper lights for our things, because I think it makes a big difference. In fact, here I even went a bit overboard. I even made my own light because I wanted something that fits a bit better. This is a light we made by ourselves, and I think it is a very nice light for different situation because it's one of those outside hanging lights. But again, even the vanilla outside hanging lights, they are way too extreme. They are way too bright. They are way too in your face. These, meanwhile, are very soft. They give a nice, warm light. I mean, just compare these that we just placed here. Compare the feel of this building. Here, I think they're even a bit too red. Maybe I need to make them a little more orange again. But compare it to these lights, or these lights, like how bright does one staircase need to be, right? I just don't like it. And yes, sorry. I warn before I flashbang you guys. Today I forgot about it, so that's on me. Big sorry, big sorry. I will make sure to flashbang you less. And I would have agreed with you on the LEDs. Careful, flashbang. A while ago, but nowadays I don't think I do anymore. Because I think nowadays most of the even the LED lamps, they are very good at capturing warm colors, and it is working fairly well to get nice warm colors. Yes, when LEDs were new, I very much agree with you that that was not a good experience. But now, I think pretty solid. Yeah, even like I would say till like 2 3 years, there is a lot of nice warm LED lights as well. Yes, okay. See, I was gonna say this first. I have not streamed in so long. I'm a bit overwhelmed and flustery today, so bear with me. First things first, I think Picana redeemed another bowler time, and obviously I don't wanna forget about it, so I'm gonna go ahead and already bowler these up real quick as well. All of
Bola
this
time.
is maybe about to change. Okay. Picana, keep going on the bollards. And we might as well just finish all of these bollards here then. Because I want to start out working this park. And while working out this park, I'm gonna show Friedrich what he asked about. And I can tell you something that before we're even touching this, there is going to be a lot of excited people in chat. I think you will be very excited. I think Picana is going to be very excited. Most people in my Discord already use this and are aware of it. But other detailers who are not in my Discord all the time probably will appreciate this a lot. And what the plus and minus does, I will show you right now. We take a bush like this. Okay. I will be careful with what I just said, Pikana. You're a very nice gentleman. Please behave. And thank you so much for the follow. I did miss the name, so give me one moment. Random dude with a name. I mean, that is a name that is straightforward enough. I can absolutely manage that name. Thanks for the follow, random dude with a name. Which bush? You have to clarify which bush you mean, and then I will tell you. If you mean the one I'm using right now, this is vanilla. This is the vanilla wildflower bush. The only thing that I do is I put it to dead. And in the dead variation, it looks a bit like dead grass, which we're in the desert. So for us, this is very nice. And now, before I keep yabbing, I'm gonna show what this does. First thing first, you see already, it says elevation variance. This thing will save you so much time that you will be very excited. What this does, and we have to probably fiddle around a bit with the values, it automatically varies within our preset. Now, currently, we have a elevation variance of 0.2. So as you can see, when we go through here, these automatically adjust in depth. This is from Anarchy. This is something that Obelix mainly, and me as well a bit in the past, have bullied Yen about, and Yen has been very quick implementing this, and it works absolutely amazing and flawless. So yes, this is part of the Anarchy beta that is released in my Discord, and I'm sure in CSM as well. But yes, no, it's not in the public version yet. So it it is not in Anarchy unless you use the beta version, which again, I'm sure it is in CSM or it is in my Discord. Generally, Yen posts his unlisted early versions in my Discord as well. So yeah, if you want this already, just type explanation mark Discord in chat, and it will post you a link of my Discord, and in there is a code mod channel where you can grab all of it.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Welcome in Hjorten. Thanks for the raid, sir, and hope you had a nice stream. I assume you also been playing Cities today, is that correct? And it's difficult to see here, right? Because we're doing this very lightly, but you guys can see how this adjusts, right? These are a lot lower than these. This is a lot higher. Oh, trucking. I see. I mean, to be honest, while I would not want to play Trucking Simulator, I actually don't dislike watching Trucking Simulator streams because they do make for very nice cities inspiration. So I hope you had a nice stream of trucking around. And maybe sooner or later, if we get proper first-person driving mods, you can just truck yourself in cities. But yes, appreciated for the raid. I have not streamed in a long time, so I'm a bit flustered today, trying to get back into playing the game a little. So progress is even slower than it usually is, probably. But we're getting at it. And again, yeah, there is a first-person view driving mod, but it seems very buggy. And I know that the one in CS1 was less buggy. So I hope we will also get something that's less buggy here. And maybe with these, I can better showcase the elevation, because with these, we can do it a bit more extreme, right? We take this as a base level for how deep we want it. And then again, we already have the elevation variance on. It resets when you switch to a different different prop or vegetation or a different object in general. But then now you guys can see, without us doing something, we have this very natural variation, right? Which in the past, I've done this manually. While placing my elevation, I spend a lot of time with my fingers on page up and page down to get some natural variance in there. I never had as much nice variance as what this does, and it is about 100 times faster. So this is absolutely amazing for any detailer ever. I would say, at least. I'm sure there is people who would disagree, but in my eyes, this is gonna become a very mandatory mod. I'm pretending to stream the first time in over a month, and I kinda don't know how to play this game properly anymore. So far I've been only yapping and sidetracking, so I guess like most of my streams. And I've been showcasing the new, I mean, you have seen this already, but the elevation variants from Anarchy that Yen added. Well, not in the public Anarchy yet, but in the beta Anarchy. And this is saving us so much time, the absolute goated mod. I mean, wholeheartedly, Triton, in the last 2 weeks, I probably would have used that mod because I wanted to play, but I just didn't have time. And this is very curious. I really like this guy. He's called Sticks. I'm sure some of you know assets he's been making. He makes very nice assets, and he has a dependency pack where he has some plant or some surfaces and stuff like that in, all of them very cute. He added a grass inside his dependency pack, and I'm not saying his grass is not beautiful, but I don't see it. Is this only me? Because I'm sure this guy generally does very nice stuff, so I would imagine that this probably is beautiful if he fixes it. But currently, maybe this grass is not that nice. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, it's like straight up completely invisible. It's not just slightly hidden or something. It's just invisible completely. Because why not? And maybe I'm making this a bit too wild. We're gonna have to re-elaborate this later. But I do want this to be a kind of romantic city that is not a ghost town or anything. I do want it to look slightly after its prime, right? Like I do want the town to have its best days behind it, but I don't want to go nearly as far as we went in our like dying ghost towns and such. Yeah, why is that not a thing? We need a smell mod where whatever you place in game, you can also smell while you're playing. Though I take that back because I'm not sure Los Vagos smells very well. I probably shouldn't wish for this. But yes, I do think, also, please give me feedback on this because I've been struggling a little. What I want in general, sorry, I'm moving my camera around so much. We have all of this, right? This is Los Vagos and it's built out very nice. I would say Los Vagos only really goes till here. What I care about is having a lot of small cities that are way too dense, that are way too, or not too dense, but too condensed, I should say. Obviously, none of this will be a realistic scale, right? Los Vagos is not a realistic scale. And I want small cities to surround it, and I want these small cities to have like interconnecting public transport with trains and buses and stuff like that. This is one of the newer cities we've been building out, mainly to give this lower corridor some purpose. And I think this works all right. Initially, I had this closer here. I moved the entire city quite further down here. I fear I might have to move it one more time because I do want a third city over here, a small one. I don't want this to be connected. Obviously, they will be nearly connected as it's very close, but as usual, I just condense stuff and make it a lot closer and more full than it should be. And this is part of it. All right, Picana, thank you so much for tuning in and thanks for the raid. You have an absolutely lovely night. And I hope I will manage to stream a bit more often than about once a month. So maybe see you soon again. And I also hope I have a bit more time to actually watch other people, because not only did I manage to play very little, I also didn't really manage to watch much Twitch or much streams, and I do miss it. So hopefully you stream again soon, and hopefully I stream again soon. But yes, have a wonderful night, and thanks for the raid again. And it's curious because for a while there was so many airport builds, and then airport builds kind of died out, and there has not been any in a long time. And now I know of multiple creators who are diving into big airport projects around the same time, Picana being one of them. So curious, we will get a flood of new cute airport builds. And maybe, depending on how good you guys are doing, I will feel embarrassed and bad about my airport and have to also rebuild my airport. I mean, wholeheartedly, I built my airport prior to the editor, so the tools we have now are a lot nicer than what we had back then. Especially if Niyoko goes and redoes all of his trains with the animation that they've been figuring out or trying to figure out, then hell yeah, is that gonna make a difference? And what is your next mod gonna be, StarQ? After you release the description mod, what is the next to come? And one of the things, sadly Gaga is not here, because Gaga always working on plants lately. One of the things we desperately need is more flowers like these. I'm absolutely overusing those cute yellow flowers, because it's the only pretty small flower we have. So need to use what we can. And Honu, sorry that I did not manage to properly look at all of your new changes. I love these changes. One thing I noticed, or maybe you can tell me as well, you have this UI, which I'm sure many people will really appreciate this and be happy about it. I don't want this. Can I hide this? Just tell him I've been bullying Miyoko to make small planes for ages as well. He released one Cessna, but Miyoko is very active in my Discord. If you tell him, sir, I love your planes, but I would love some smaller ones, then maybe it brings him somewhere. There is a lot of people. I know that Gaga, me, and some others have also always asked for more smaller planes, so you're not alone. But as just props, you actually have, I think, at least one Cessna he made. And then he has a few smaller passenger jets. But I agree. I am very much with you. I would also like to have more small planes. Hopefully in future. Okay, here I need to think. These, for some reason, these behave differently. This goes on top of it, so we can very dirtily just go around here. And then with the others, we need to be careful. And here, this is one of the things I don't like about my surfaces yet. These should not turn round. Like, I definitely need to fiddle around with a few small details. Still, I think both of the chestnuts are Nyokos. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't take my word for it, but I thought both of them were Nyokos at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, Nyoko has been very active recently and like actually going back and fixing and redoing a lot of old stuff, and he's been trying to figure out how to animate more like landing gears and such. So I'm sure there is nice stuff from Nyoko coming soon. I should, but the reason I don't star queue is that this side is not perfectly 90-degree. So I actually don't want perfect 90-degree snapping, because that will not be perfectly accurate. I need to eye this. Actually here, yeah, no. See, 90 is getting too close. 91 is where it's at. And we need to hit roughly this, so about here. We're probably gonna have to readjust this anyways, but roughly here. To be honest, I don't know that, sir. I usually test a lot of assets, as I have like an asset catalog in my Discord where I curate assets that I consider well made, aka they work well, they have LODs, and they are done properly. I have not posted this one, so I assume it will probably have no LODs. It might. Maybe I don't want to say anything wrong. Maybe it does, but I don't think it will. There is a second very nice mod, especially if you care about assets being well made, that StarQ made. I'm gonna show you guys something in a moment. It's the mod that I probably, out of all mods, recently have used the most, because I didn't really play the game, but I did test assets sometimes, and this mod makes testing assets about a million times easier. Ah! I'm silly. We could. There is a reason that I didn't draw this as one piece. I drawn the middle piece here, and then we kind of shot ourselves in the leg here. I need to separate the outer part. No, I don't want to redraw this. Damn it, I hate this game sometimes. This is all my incompetence and my user error, so not the game's fault. But I can just not take accountability and blame the game instead. That usually works out quite well for me. Okay, so this time we're gonna do it correct. We're gonna take only this side, and then in this side here, we actually need to trace these, because here the grass is showing through. Ah, pain. Actual pain, pain, pain. After we draw on this surface, I'm gonna show the mod to random dude with a name real quick, so I don't forget about it. Because this is an absolute goated mod, at least if you have a rough idea about 3D modeling, and you have a bit of an idea on how to judge the numbers. There is not really proper fixed rules for it. That indeed is the Los Vagos frame. I mean, unlucky you have to date me, so I'm sure you're used to people not taking accountability. But yes, now we can draw the outside. But before I forget, let's have a look at a new mod, and we can immediately also judge my own asset and see if I've done a good job this time. Because the new mod that Stark you put out that is amazing is this one here. We have these absolutely amazing infos about any single mesh, and it works on any building. You can go on any building, and then you go into the visual tab, and you have the mesh stats viewer, and it shows you right away some values for each of the buildings. It is absolutely goated. You can go through very easily, check, does an asset have proper LODs, does an asset have bad LODs, and I can tell you, I sorted through Los Vagos and deleted many of the worst case scenarios that had no LODs or bad LODs, and my game runs better since. So I can tell you guys, even though my computer is fairly weak, so I'm probably not a great benchmark, that yes, it does matter. You do really want proper LODs for things to have your game run smoothly. And prior, we could already check this out as well. But prior, it was pretty infuriating and annoying to check this out. And now it's very quick and handy to check this out thanks to StarQ. So, big, big thanks. Yeah, pretty much. And that is something you can avoid with that mod. One of the things I'm gonna have to prepare you for is that besides some people who don't upload very high quality assets, the worst examples are actually the vanilla assets, which I'm not sure what Ko has been thinking in the past, but yes, Ko has committed some absolute crimes in this game with lots and LOD values, or not even just missing LODs, but also that the numbers of just simple measures sometimes are pretty absurd. And yes, this mod will allow you to very easily recheck those things without having to go into the editor, because we could already see all of this prior, but it was fairly annoying and tedious to do so. And now it is a lot easier and quicker and very comfortable to check. So we all should be very thankful to StarQ. It took a while. How long did I bully you to make this mod StarQ? Roughly 3-4 months, maybe? I'm not complaining. I'm super slow with everything I do myself as well. So I'm not saying you should have been faster. And it's not like you didn't do loads of other very nice things in the meanwhile. Yeah, these surfaces we definitely have to clean up a little. But see, these don't match at all. We're gonna have to adjust the lower ones. Yeah, I mean, the long grass, as I also spam those, but they are not that bad. They are wholeheartedly not that bad. It really depends, right? Even I always need to clarify this because I think it's important to have in mind. Having a single few bad assets in your build, absolutely not a problem, right? Like, I know people shit on Cities performance quite a lot, and to some degree very reasonable, but in some things, Cities is actually fairly competent. So you can absolutely get away with having a few bad assets in there, but I would argue it's important that you're aware of it, right? Like if there is a bad optimized asset that you really care about, totally use it. Maybe don't use it 10,000 times, right? Because at that moment it will become complicated. But if you guys want to get really angry, this is probably the worst thing inside of City Skylines. Because yes, it's just 1,000, but this thing is tiny, right? Absolutely tiny, and it's everywhere. So if we look at an area like this, it has no LODs, right? Like here, we're currently probably looking at, I don't know, how many rocks might this be? 10,000. So even just looking at this, we have about 100,000 words from rocks, which is more than the entire rest of this city, right? Because all of this has LODs. We zoom out, this entire city together maybe has about 10k. Then this also has about 10k. There is no point. This is just pure incompetence and laziness. The boulder is even worse. The difference is that the boulder you don't use as close, right? The boulder has nearly 2,000 and also no LODs, as you can see here. So the boulder is just as problematic. But I would argue the boulder effectively hurts less because, yeah, sure, this is a lot of boulders. But then if you compare it with the amount of rocks that you have in a normal build, that makes no difference, right? Like I can tell you the worst place in my entire build for FPS is this. If I zoom in here, I have just half my FPS. I have quite literally just half my FPS, just zooming in here. And yes, there is quite a lot happening here. But if these things would have LODs, this would absolutely not be a problem. But these bushes, oh, actually, they have one LOD. But yeah, this is also absurd. Well, kind of. What StarQ is work. I'm not sure if I'm allowed. StarQ, am I allowed to talk about what you've been working on in the background before I spoiled something that you don't want out there yet? I will need clarification from StarQ on this because I don't want to spoil secrets. Okay, yeah, sure, he says. This is kinda gonna come. StarQ has been working on the asset database, which basically will read out every single asset in the game and combine them into a database, and that database is gonna be a website, maybe later on get pulled back into the game, but it's pretty much exactly this. I don't think giving a score is good. Uh, I had many conversations with StarQ and Gaga as well about these things. I don't think a score system is proper because the truth is that there is not really any harsh rules. I think to properly judge an asset, you need to understand 3D modeling yourself. Yes. So basically, you're getting the same, right? But I think having no score is relevant because in the end, hopefully, many people who don't know anything about 3D modeling will also use that mod. But they need to have something to look at. But a score is problematic in this regard because you don't really want to score things. Because let me find a good example. Actually, I think I have a good idea on what to show. For example, this. And this. This, without even checking, this will have higher word count than this, right? And it's just due to the form. A lot of topology is just that you need more topology for these things. It is. I'm glad I was right. But yes, this has twice as much as this. Both of these are well made and perfectly fine, right? So there is no fixed rules, and you kind of have to learn and educate yourself on how to judge those things. But the good news is that there is people out there, including me. I do check pretty much 100% of all assets uploaded on PDX. I do take quite long sometimes. If I have little time, I might not do so for 2 or 3 weeks, but then I get to it. And I quite literally sort them. I add everything that is well made to my catalog, and I'm sure we will see more and more of that. Now it gets easier to have good access to those things. Oh, also I want to show this because this is a really cute detail. This is a new bus that got uploaded, and I'm very happy that we have a proper coach. There is a short wheel version with only one wheel, and there is a long version, this one with 2 wheels. I prefer the short wheel version, but the long wheel version has rear wheel steering. This is the first vehicle in CS2, to my knowledge, with rear wheel steering. Have a look at this. Do you guys see this? I think it's super cool. It's a bit hard to see, but you guys notice, right? How the back wheel of it is turning in the curve as well. At first, I wasn't sure if I'm like just dreaming, but no, it absolutely is done well with proper steering. I think it's a super cute detail. Here again, pay attention to the back wheel. I love this. I absolutely love this. I think it's the first, isn't it? Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think this is the first with rear wheel steering. And welcome in X Faction. Thank you for the follow earlier as well. Sorry, I've not streamed in so long and I'm generally flustered and sidetracking. I forgot to thank you, but I didn't forgot about it happening. So thank you and appreciate it. But yeah, there's been other cute buses. One of the cute things that got added as well we're using in this city and is this short bus, which I also absolutely love. And what gets me even more excited about this bus is that we can already tell that there will be a short wheelbase version. I mean, I also thought so, but shit happens. Don't you worry about it. I never care too much about these things, anyways. But if you look at this bus, there is an issue with the LODs, but that issue with the LODs also tells us something about the bus. Oh, maybe he fixed it. I think he fixed it. Yeah, he did fix it. Interesting. This has two meshes. The bus goes up until here, and then the back part here is a second mesh. There is no reason doing that if you don't plan on making a shorter wheelbase version as well. So maybe I'm lying, purely speculation here. But as this is not a single mesh, but it's split here, I'm fairly sure that soon we will see a version that does not have the backdoor and just ends roughly here. So looking forward to that. This already is amazing. I always was hoping for smaller buses. We did have some smaller buses from StarQ, but obviously they were just using the Prism bus and were not a proper own modeled mesh. And now we're getting a proper own model mesh, which at least in my eyes, very exciting. And also well-made asset, like as I've been talking so much about numbers and it mattering that assets are well-made, those assets definitely are well-made. Yeah, there's been so many. Again, I have not streamed and barely played within the last month, so there is so many good new assets. I'm sure I'll mention more, and I'm sure I'll touch up on more different things. But I also want to actually play the game a little, so I cannot show everything. There has been too many good things released. But yes, the bus side of the game is starting to actually become pretty solid, though it's still mainly European. There have been some really beautiful, very spacey, futuristic, I believe Japanese or Korean buses added that I tested and have to add to my library as well, because they were very surprisingly nice. Good LODs, well set up. So I would say just buy a bigger hard drive, but then I guess AI happened and hard drives now cost as much as a family house, so difficult. I'm in a similar situation. I run out of space about once every 2 weeks and have to find stuff or can somehow delete. I'm really surprised because my computer, like to say something positive about cities for once. I mean, I do think I say positive things a lot, but something actually very positive about cities. I think the performance has gotten pretty acceptable. My playset has currently 830 mods, I believe. There is a lot of garbage in there that I should remove. It's because I test so many assets. But yes, we're currently playing with over 800 mods, and my computer is not good. And not good is probably an overstatement of how good my computer actually is. And still, my game runs pretty fine, even with over 800 mods installed. Yeah, same. I have to admit, I've reached a point where I have very little games outside of Cities installed, because my Cities installation is growing and growing. and yeah, other games are paying the price for it. But yes, that feels very familiar. Stark, you will also agree. Stark, you post about, I would say, once a week even, that he ran out of space on his server. So you're not the only one. The good news is it's only about to get worse, because the quality of assets and the amount of good assets uploaded on PDX is steadily going upwards. So if anything, this problem is going to be a bit bigger, or a lot bigger even, in a few months from now. Well, actually, there is another asset I want to shout out, because I don't think that has gotten... There is one guy who makes absolutely stunning assets, who gets way too little hype for them. Why? I don't know. They're amazing, super well made, super beautiful. I will show you guys in a moment. And he uploaded another absolute banger. And the guy I'm talking about is a gentleman who's making all of the Soviet assets. I'm gonna just sort after recently added, because it's one of the more recently added ones. And we should find it here after scrolling a little. He made incredibly beautiful, well-made fences a while ago. And now he added shacks. And these shacks are absolutely amazing. Also great pack. These UK row houses, stunningly beautiful and well made. But again, it's been too many good assets lately. We cannot look at everything. Here they are. I absolutely adore these. I always in this game miss small things that you can detail out, backyards and other small details in residential yards or farm yards and things like this. And I hate the checks we have so far. I think all of the vanilla ones, or the majority of the vanilla ones at least, really don't look nice. But these, maybe it's just me, I think they're amazing. I think they're absolutely amazing. These are from, and this is in general a creator, it's a Stim guy. Alex Stim is how he calls himself. Nearly everything this guy makes is gold. Nearly everything this guy makes is gold. For some really curious reason, he made some garages very early, and these garages he made were horrible. So I recall I looked at these garages and was like, oh, sad. This guy does not know what he's doing. And then I have not checked his assets for a long time. I went back and I did that guy very wrong. Only his garages are not really well made. Everything outside of the garages he made is amazing. Not sure if I can feign this. Alex, I hope he tags his name. He doesn't. Maybe Steam. Damn it. It should be somewhere at the start when we add fence, because they are more of the recently added ones. Yes, see, he also made these fences. I love these fences. And they are surprisingly well made. Like if you look at them in Mesh Viewer, they look a lot higher poly than they actually are. So big recommendation on this. In general, like I said, like that Steam guy, even if you don't like Soviet things, he has some absolutely amazing ones in there. This bus station here, for example, this is also a Steam Soviet bus station. I don't think this has to be in a Soviet place, so really, really nice. In general, like I said, really good creator. I welcome in Sunny. I know, I deserve all flag. I streamed so little lately that I will agree with any bullying in my direction. It's deserved. I'm not gonna argue back on it. And let me catch back up on what I miss in chat. Yeah, you want to know what, random dude with a name? When you say you built your PC shortly before AI happened, I upgraded my RAM very shortly before the RAM prices exploded. I bought a 200 gigabyte DDR5 64 gig kit that is now worth about 3 or 4 times as much as when I bought it. I literally bought it right before the prices started skyrocketing. So, no, 200 euros, 64 gigabyte. I'm not that rich, Triton. And that would also be very much overkill on my shitty system. And I do see that there is an ad break starting in 40 seconds, and I have not had a break today yet. So, for all of the new people in chat, we usually do something a bit weird in my chat for ad breaks. You guys will enjoy a nice trip with an UFO, which don't ask why. Los Vagos is a bit of a weird place. We have aliens in here. So I hope you enjoy your trip with the UFO. And I will run to the toilet and grab something to drink real quick and should be back with you in roughly 3 minutes. So I will BRB and catch up on what happened real quick. Enjoy the UFO ride, and I'll be right back, cuties. Bye bye. Hi, cuties. I'm back. I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick while I still let you guys fly around with the UFO for a moment, just so I don't miss anything. Yeah, I mean, Triton, I also only had 32 gigabytes, but then the truth is, unless you play heavily modded games, exactly like random dude with a name is saying, 32 gigabytes is more than enough, right? For pretty much any normal game or task you do on your computer. Only for weird, heavily modded games like Cities Skylines, more is welcome. And when I built my computer, I did not know about Cities Skylines, so I didn't consider building a good computer for it. So then I had to upgrade, and again, luckily I did so right in time, otherwise nowadays I would just suffer and not update. Because these prices are not funny anymore. Like, just my RAM is as expensive as my entire computer has been. And you know, Sunny, I will upload the UFO as soon as Vehicle Controller finally gives us access to helicopter prefabs. Till that, you will have to still be patient. And yeah, the ad breaks are always different depending on the heck. Hold on real quick. What is going on here? There used to be a building here. I am so confused. There used to be a building and all kind of stuff around here. You can even see all of the decals that we place on the building. What happened here? What happened here? I'm not sure I should save what we've been doing today. There is a lot of stuff missing in our build. Looks like my streaming data folder didn't load correctly, but he's not showing them as obsolete entities. I don't understand. I am a slightly bit confused. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure. Something weird is happening here. All of this, like, I am slightly confused. Not sure how I managed this, but yeah, I broke something. And yeah, KS Fun is one of the undercover Germans, so don't get baited by his wrong asset. Yeah, I guess the UFO must have took it.
Emotional damage.
And welcome in Gaga. I don't think Move It has anything to do with this. No, I like look at this. This is a bridge, obviously, right? There is a lot of other things here. Like it's missing the entire. It's like half of my local assets didn't load, and why I don't understand. There is something very. It's very weird because then some of these loaded because this is in the same. This is the same assets. They are from the same folder. So the folder has to be there. But quite a lot of the stuff didn't load correctly. since I started playing, it's like, I don't know, few hours. I've also not saved yet today, which, talking about it, we should save, but maybe don't keep this. I will need to check this. Yes, welcome in Obelix, welcome in Gaga, and welcome in Jamama. Nice to see all of you cuties. And sorry, I'm a bit flustered because that is so strange. I don't understand. I mean, we've not done the world today, but that might mean that we cannot keep what we've done today, which again, we didn't do very much, so wouldn't be the end of the world. But I'm confused what or why this is happening. Maybe. Hold on, actually, that's. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Sunny is making a point. Let's have a look. Holy shit. It is that, but why? Why would these have lost their. You're a clever boy, Sunny. I'm sure you know that yourself. That is exactly what happened. But why did that happen? Because I usually brush everything with anarchy. There's a lot of stuff that it looks like my entire anarchy reset. Why it did, I don't know, but yes. Now everybody who doesn't know my build very well can understand why I was confused. This is how it's how it used to look. I was getting really flustered what is happening there, because yeah, there was a lot missing. Really, I never have happened that. I literally have never had my anarchy reset as this. Okay, what you're seeing, just so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and delete real quick these blocks that are poking out that we just anarchy brushed. So they became visible, and then I will go ahead and explain what you have just seen, because I understand that was a bit confusing. You are aware how anarchy works, right? Just so I understand how deep I need to explain this. Okay, so when you place any item, we should use a prop for this to explain it better. We take this thing here. You have this, which is the anarchy component, right? Which means if we place this here, we cannot place it. If you turn on anarchy, it has an anarchy component. If we turn it without, it doesn't have an anarchy component. And there is another thing, you have the elevation and transform block. Also this, we can place with, out, and with. If we now go back into this, the anarchy components tool, and have a look at it, you see right away, this has an anarchy component, because we had anarchy on. These don't. So they are not marked with anarchy. If we would want everything here to be with anarchy, we would take this and just brush over it, right? Everything that is in red has the anarchy. And then here you can see even more. Everything in purple has elevation lock. So you can brush over these and give them the components, or I believe also remove those components if you would not want to have them. I hope discovered it to understand, but it's basically a way to apply anarchy and elevation lock after you've done so. And welcome in, Jinsurs, or Yinsurs. I'm sure I'm buttering your name really bad. I'm sorry. Please tell me how to pronounce it better or correctly, but I'm trying my best. If you have more questions, dude with a name, please feel free to ask, but I hope that explained it. Now I'm very curious. I'm sorry, this is getting a bit boring maybe, but I do want to see real quick. Yeah, okay, this is fine. This all has, I don't understand. Why did just that area reset? Look here as well. It's literally my entire anarchy has reset. This is severely breaking our build. Please look at this without anarchy. And now we're gonna go ahead and turn this into the build it used to be. But yeah, that's slightly problematic that our anarchy has decided to reset everywhere. I think this looks slightly nicer than without anarchy. What I don't like about this is that I will have to re-go over our entire build to fix this, and then if we anarchy brush over it like we did, we will have this happen, and we will have weird rocks coming out everywhere that we then have to delete afterward. So not loving it is not the end of the world, but I don't understand why this happened. What might I have done to reset it? Welcome in, Jelly. Yeah, I pretend to be a streamer sometimes. I know it's been a while, but today I felt like I can pretend to be a streamer again. So I went ahead and I started streaming, but as you can see, I don't even know how to play this game anymore. So I'm a bit flustered today. Because again, this is not the end of the world to fix, but my issue is more that I would like to understand why this happened, what we did wrong for this to occur. Because yeah, there's gonna be a massive issue everywhere in our city. Huh. Oh, sorry. I'm still. I'm gonna have to catch up real quick again because suddenly my chat is active and I'm getting tired. Usually after game update, so I've not reported it. Okay, that's curious. But yeah, the reason why it looks weird when anarchy is turned off is because then it cannot overlap anymore, right? Like if you have anarchy off, what happens when you have anarchy off is that stuff cools each other if it collides with each other. So if something touches each other and blocks each other's way, it will look weird, right? Because the anarchy component is missing. So even something like this graffiti, if it's touching the wall and has no anarchy component, it might not render. So since I overlap a lot of stuff, it needs the anarchy component to render in the first place. And I don't know why those reset. I hope that covers your question. Yes, without anarchy, stuff likes to disappear, or you cannot even place it in the first place. But yes, without basically, it can disappear if it hits something else. I'm just going around because I'm actually so curious. But it does look like this broke through the entirety of our build, which I'm not loving, but I guess it is what it is. I'm gonna reload after a stream and see if it's doing better. And how are all of you cuties doing? I've been so stressed lately that I managed to look at like 0 streams. How is Jelly doing? How is Jamama doing? How is Gray doing? How are all of you cuties doing? That I sadly didn't manage to stream or hit the streams often enough lately. I mean, maybe I managed to stream a bit more often than once a month in the next time, but yes, I'm not known to have a very good or balanced or consistent stream schedule. You might see this correct. And sadly, this is not a 24-hour stream. And where are you, Kasvan? Are you in Hamburg again? It takes a moment sometimes, Elgendo. I wouldn't be stressed about it. Just wait a little, and if it then still happens, then yeah, maybe something is wrong. But I'm sure everything is fine. Yeah, no worries. Like, easiest if you want to catch my streams is if you join my Discord, because I always ping in my Discord when I go stream. And otherwise, it really depends. Sometimes I stream 3 times a week. Sometimes I stream once every 2 months. It really just depends on how much time I find. And I'm looking forward to Elgendo's road markings because I might or might not have seen a lot of spoilers of those. There is a lot of nice road markings coming in the Elgendo's mod, specifically some NA ones that I asked to get included. So I like what I hear, Jefe. Yeah, I guess. And you Americans, or at least in the past, I recall that kids in the US have incredibly long summer holidays, right? How long is the summer holidays for all of you? Yeah, I mean, if you don't like Discord, then feel free to just do it on Twitch. For me, it's the exact opposite. I don't ever see any alerts or something on Twitch, so I need to join people's Discord, else I will not see their streams. Enjoy the walk with the doggo, and maybe see you later. Though I'm actually a bit flustered over the anarchy thingy. I think we're probably not gonna stream super long today, and I might instead try to stream soon again. But I want to see if one of my most recent saves is not having that issue. Actually, maybe we can even look at that together. But sometimes I get stuck while loading old saves, and if we get stuck and I have to relaunch my game, then I would rather just end stream, because that takes forever. And you're also from the US, Random. Because 6 week is the same for us, but yes, 3 months. Look at this. That's exactly what I meant. Like for us, it's also 6 weeks. So if I read of 3 month summer holidays, that is absurd to me. mean, in all fairness, most of my build is so cleaned up that I think I can just take a giant anarchy brush and brush everything. But yeah, we'll have to delete a lot of the rocks. I don't know, it's not like it's not behaving now. It's like I lost all of my anarchy components in our existing build. So quite a lot of things are not, but it's very weird because this mainly intact at least. So yeah, no, there should be more graffiti here as well. Even this is not. Yep, I after this stream I will have to do some investigation on what is happening there. But yeah, thanks, cuties. Probably my fault. Yes, I am way more active in my Discord than I am streamer. Like I usually joke around saying I'm not a streamer, I'm a Discorder. Because I like to BM in Discord and talk about City Skylines, but then I have too little time to properly stream often. So generally, yes, I'm fairly active in Discord. In my Discord, that is. I have to admit, I don't often make it over the borders of my Discord. There is a lot of other nice and amazing Discords in the community. And I wish I had more time to participate in more of them, but the truth is I don't usually. And with the surfaces, I want to have a bit of a look because we definitely want to have some kind of road surface that we bring through this entire little town. And I obviously want to use some of my upcoming surfaces so I can take some nice screenshots of them. Want some, maybe something like this, some very bare, simple cobblestone. Maybe this is too old even. I also don't. I only had that happen a few times, but yes, I also had that happen a few times where Skype decided it has to version lock some things for me that I absolutely did not want version locked. Why it sometimes decides to do so out of nowhere, I don't understand. I think this is the surface we're gonna use, guys. What do we think about this as a road surface for this entire city? Because for once, I don't want dirt roads, but I want something that still looks realistic and believable in the desert. And I think this is both interesting and different enough, but still very believable in our desert. What do you mean? I added surfaces. I sent you these surfaces. Maybe I forgot to send you one of the 4 packs, but I should have sent you 4 unlisted packs. I have not posted those to anybody beside you and StarQ so far, because they still have issues, and I know you guys know that I will fix them up, but not everybody does, so I didn't fully go out with these. And this surface here is not the one we want. I don't like this for what it is. I want to find a surface that we can pretty much reuse throughout the entire town center for the sidewalks and the park and all of this here to have this a bit more in tune. So I think we're probably using a tile surface here. I actually quite like this See, I did a fumble here. I didn't pay attention that these are in the same orientation, which means I'm gonna have to redraw these surfaces, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my Discord that it's so active either, Chaos. I have to admit, I don't even manage to always read all of the messages in my own Discord either. Mostly I try to catch up, but yeah, I do miss stuff as well. How that happened, I don't know. I blame Gaga and Obelix and other people like that. Yeah, I will have a look at these surfaces this weekend. I do really want to put them out, partly because I will need screenshots of non-desert people as well, because I realized that my desert build is actually a bit complicated for showcasing assets. Especially this, for example, because this is very nicely pre-detailed, but then I play in autumn and in desert, so suddenly the vegetation all looks very bad in this, and it looks a lot cuter in actual grass biome. So I will upload these unlisted and ask some of you guys if you're willing to maybe take some cute screenshots for me. See, one of the things in my Discord you have to learn, Honu, is that I'm not moderating my Discord much. I think we're all old enough for me not to have to be a kindergartner. So if people are annoyed by something, I think they should just say, hey, maybe Nyoko stop reposting the same meme a quadrillion million times, and then maybe he will listen to you. But I'm not a fan of having to be a kindergartner for a bunch of people who are already adults and can manage to just tell each other how they feel about things. Otherwise, I agree. Maybe Nyoko needs to find a new meme as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna make any rules for stuff like that. I know, I know. I just had people in the past tell me I need to moderate my Discord, and I want to make very clear that as if you're hateful or a cunt, then sure, I will ban you immediately. But if you're behaving civilized and there is no problem, then I think no moderation really is needed, as we're all adults. Yeah, likewise, but I do
Place an
think
electricity
Nyoko has
box.
also kinda gotten it.
Place an electricity box.
No. Guys, I don't. This city is not far enough yet to have. I have more electricity boxes than anything in here later. I always admire the relationship between StarQ and Miyoko. It is. I have rarely in my life seen a love-hate relationship as strong as that one. Okay, 2 electricity boxes. So we don't mess up, we're actually gonna think about it. One will be fitting very nice here in this back alley.
Bollard time.
Sure. Bollards, I actually don't mind, because yes, we will need bollards. The only reason why I mind a little is that I'm so unsure with anarchy. Maybe everything we're doing today has gonna have to get thrown away. If that's the case, then I scammed you for all of your electricity boxes, and I'm not sorry about it. Always blame Sunny. That seems perfectly acceptable,
Place an
Honu.
electricity box.
I think blaming Sunny is exactly what it means. And blaming Gray is also always welcome in this community.
I
Because
wish we had a cactus.
damn you, Graham. And the Bollard time. And the Bollard, we want to keep reusing the same one.
I wish we had a cactus.
Tram station Bollard. We have a cactus. We have many cactuses. I need to update a new sound. I literally already have a new sound. Instead of I wish we had a cactus. I just have not had enough time to change it out yet. But we will. The hydrate is very welcome. I will do that in a moment. And I think I catched all of the electricity boxes, didn't I? Yes, this city has a lot of bollards. There is a reason that I have a bollard emote and a bollard time redeem. The only history you need to know about this Honu is that I didn't think I would like to stream. The only reason I started streaming initially is because other people have asked in the past, and I always was like, no, I don't really want to stream. I don't think I'm a good streamer, and I still don't think I'm a good streamer. But my girlfriend eventually was like, while you're playing that silly city game, you might as well just throw it on Twitch. And I was like, well, I guess you do make a point. So I started streaming, and my entire first stream was literally me placing bollards. Nothing. I've done nothing else. I placed bollards for 3.5 or 4 hours in this area. As you can see, this area might have 1 or 2 bollards. It literally has bollards everywhere. And that was my first stream ever, where I just placed bollards everywhere. And yeah, look here, same. It's the same anarchy thing again. Anarchy has literally reset throughout my entire build. And I hate it. And I don't know why it decided to do so. So I guess next place we're gonna brush over real quick so it looks fine again. I think that looks slightly nicer than it did before. Why? Bollards make even more sense if there's no curb. I don't have money for curbs, but my cousin has a bollard factory, Algento, and you know, obviously, all claims about me being a corrupt major are absolutely false. But my cousin has done some nice things for me in the past. And in exchange for that, I will buy about a quadrillion million bollards. And I mean, even more so, if you don't have a curb, you need bollards. So the curb already is not stopping people. So at least you need a bollard to have people not drive onto your shit. I accept any critic on this channel, but criticizing my bollard usage is clearly not allowed. Criticizing anything else on this channel, perfectly welcome, but if the critic is too many bollards, then that is unaccepted, really. Which ones? These? These don't need, because these have this. Alright, have a nice night, Elgando, and thanks for tuning in, as always. Well, that's good for me. Another cousin of mine owns a car repair company. So if people break their cars, then good business for my cousin. So that's very welcome in Los Vagos as well. And I'm looking forward to checking out the update to your road marking mod, even though most of the markings I've seen already from your spoilers. I mean, everybody should unsub. If there is one recommendation I can give on this channel, it's unsub as quick as you can. But again, though, as you're wholeheartedly not wrong about the critique of me not having curbs, do you think I should use curbs in this small town? Because I've been thinking about it. I might trace everything with curbs here. I'm not sure, as it's all flat, as it's the dirt road still. So I'm not sure how appropriate curbs are, but maybe. Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for tuning in and have a nice evening. And in case you feel like it, see you in my Discord. And have a nice night, of course. Near which commercial buildings? All of these, you mean? Maybe around the parking lot, I guess. I would have actually liked to use curbs here, but I don't want any EIA stuff, and we don't really have any net lanes outside of EIA. So curbs still have to wait, but in future I would like curb as well. Yes, I will absolutely, just so we understand each other. One of the things we will do in this entire area, eventually, all of this is ugly and not placed positioned correctly. But how I imagine this to be, just to give a little outlook, is something like this. Obviously, we would have to position that parking lot a bit more appropriate. But yes, this entire city is mainly to showcase my surfaces and some other assets. I've also made sure to use all of my fast food stuff in this, as I should eventually finally finish that up as well, and then I'll have the same problem of needing screenshots. So we're using those here as well. I'm gonna rush all of this for now because we're gonna reposition so much. I'm not sure we're gonna keep any of this anyways. But basically, this is how I want this to look. I'm not leaving. No. I want to clarify. I don't think there's anything wrong with EIA. I think anything made in EIA in the past is perfectly fine to be used and updated and staying on EIA. I don't think I want to release new stuff for EIA anymore. So that's a big difference. I'm absolutely not gonna unsub to old EIA stuff. There is so many things that other people, but mainly Elgando, has made for EIA that I absolutely cannot live without. That simply is not an option. So no, don't you worry, Obelix. But with net lanes, it's more that if you listen to everything that's communicated outside, it's just a question of time till we will have all of those available vanilla as well. And it is really annoying and tedious and shitty to move stuff over from EIA to vanilla. And basically you can't really do so without republishing a new mod. So I think it makes no sense to do so right now. Though you guys can believe that I was wishing back to EIA a lot while I was doing those surfaces, because I don't want to say anything wrong. Surfaces in the editor, perfectly fine. I don't think they are horrible to make. I think they are fairly user-friendly. I don't want to shit on them. Nothing wrong there. But batch adjusting stuff in the editor is literal pain. Like if you want to change a value for all your surfaces because you messed up something, holy is that tedious and annoying compared to what we had with EIA in the past. If you just want to make a few surfaces and you're new to all of this, then the editor is great for surfaces specifically, and you will not have a problem with it. But for more complex stuff, not great at all. And I'm not sure if Gray is still here, but if Gray is still here, Gray, thank you for bullying me. I always say that bullying is an important tool to push people in the right direction. Gray has bullied me a lot to use Move It keybinds, and I'm very thankful. I actually started using Move It keybinds, and I don't know why I didn't do this for the last year already. Because goddamn did I waste much time in my life for clicking all of these manually and not just using 4 keybinds, really. Realistically, you only need 4 keybinds in Move It to very noticeably speed up your entire building process. And yeah, I was too lazy, but then Gray kept bullying me and making fun of me for clicking every word like a senior citizen, which I guess I start qualifying as a senior citizen, but appreciated. I now have joined the key or keybind people, and yeah, it's so much faster. Like all of what we're doing here would have taken me a lot longer otherwise. Yeah, literally same. That was my initial Chaos, stop it. I can tell you, Chaos, I'm gonna go over the most important ones that Gray taught me, if I can remember all of them. But it's really just fear. 4 of them. I have not, yeah. Somebody, I'm. Why, see, Sunny, you just gotten yourself into trouble. How do I do this? Why are you not mod already? Shouldn't you be mod? I just made you mod, Sunny. You can just do the shout out yourself. Because while I'm streaming, I always forget about shout outs. And it's not because I don't like to shout out people. I think I do so a lot vocally, but then I don't actually do it. You are a mod right now. I just made you mod. I don't even ask. It's not like you have any choice, Sunny. You are now a moderator. If you don't want to be a moderator, then tough luck on you. Well, welcome to my mod team. I think there is exactly 3 people in my mod team that know how Twitch works. And it's Gray, it's Cuboid, and it's Jelly. All of my other mods have no clue how anything in Twitch works. The good news is I also don't have any idea how anything on Twitch works, and I'm the streamer, so you fit us perfectly fine. Like, Gaga has been the best moderator ever. Gaga has been my Twitch mod for around, I don't know, 4 months or something. When I was talking about Gaga being my moderator, and Gaga was like, "Hold on, I'm your mod." He simply did not know. He said he was wondering why he has a green sword in front of his name. But yes, that happened. So really, no stress on knowing what you do. But you can now type /shout out, and then you have to type, I believe, and a username, and then you can shout out people. Because, for example, I agree that Gray deserves a shout out, and I could do so, but now you have the power yourself to do so. So you can give Gray a shout out yourself for his amazing video that I sadly have not yet seen. And welcome in, Amy. Nice to see you. I hope you're having a nice weekend. Well, I'm sorry, Cuboid, I know. Sadly, you have to suffer through my stream again. And you know how it is. The more you tell me that you're not enjoying my stream, the more likely it is for me to stream again sometime soon. Because obviously, my biggest joy is your guys' misery. So, be careful what you wish for, Cuboid. Is what a German thing? To like the misery of other people, that is probably a very German thing, if that is what you mean. Hey, that's the only reason why you're moderators. As if I don't have moderators, nobody watches me, and if I make you guys mods, then you're legally required to watch me, else you go to jail. So it's true, it's true. And yes, I'm sure you know, Honu, that us Germans, we have a word that no other country in the world has, and that word is called Schadenfreude. And what Schadenfreude means, it quite literally is a verb for the enjoyment over other people's failure or pain. So I'm not saying we Germans are all horrible, pity people, but if our language is any indication for these kind of things, then I think we might be. Yeah, literally. See, right while I'm talking about it, you already said the same thing. That does seem to be slightly German to me. In German, that's a really, really normal and common word, which I guess nobody else in the entire world does. I mean, we do the same. There is a lot of Dinglish or Denglish happening in German, where we just take English words and use them in our normal German language. In fact, the confusing part about it is that we sometimes also take stuff that sounds like we just stolen an English word, but then it's different. For example, mobile phone, what you guys call, in Germany we call it handy, which is obviously not a German word, like it comes from the English handheld, I guess. But many Germans think handy is the official English name for that as well, or for mobile phone as well, and it absolutely isn't. I might or might not have made an absolute fool out of myself in the past for that issue. mean, I guess it's still better than what the French do to whatever new word happens. They just try their very hardest to invent a new word instead of using anything that's not French initially. Yeah, what does it mean? Or handy in a sense of being handy. That smiley makes me think it means something naughty, but I'm so innocent and I'm naughty, of course I
Place an
wouldn't know.
electricity box.
I think Gaga might have went to bed already. Yeah, I also I understand why the French do it for some things, but then it's so weird for me. The funniest one will always be for computer, where computer is pretty much computer in every language. And then you have the French people calling it l'ordinateur. Because sure, why not use the same word as everybody is using already? Yeah. And in all fairness, I think I will probably also head to bed soon, not because I wouldn't like to stream a bit longer, but because that anarchy thing flusters me, because I have a feeling that probably everything I'm building right now we're just gonna take and throw away in the trash can. And that makes me not want to stream super long, because the longer I stream, the more I'll have to rebuild later. So yeah, not certain yet. Also thinking about this, I want to make some changes here. I think we actually want to match some road or some entrances here. And so this is not perfectly aligned. We want to have one central one here as well. Well, not yet chaos, but soon. Really, again, I'm not even tired, and I don't have to get up early tomorrow, so I could stream longer. But this weird anarchy things we have happen everywhere really thrown me off. I can't lie. If StarQ is here, is there any fix to the? Because that would already answer a lot of things for me. Is there any fix for that? If I have an old save where my anarchy components are still intact? Or will they also break when I load? Because that comes from the game updating. Will I have to fix this manually either way, or is there a chance that re-rolling save fixes it? If StarQ is still here, at least. Wow, you're all very highly valued. This is one of the probably the only channel on Twitch where every single moderator is a better streamer than the actual streamer. So you guys are definitely more valued than the streamer himself is. You say, yeah, but on this save includes older saves? Or does that just mean this save that I'm currently working on? Because that for me is a big difference. I know that in this save, I would have to manually fix everything, but my question is if I find a save from like 2 weeks ago, because I didn't really play in the last 2 weeks, and that by chance has the anarchy components, then I would be fine. I had this in the past where some of my anarchy components reset, but never as globally as here. Like today, it literally looked like all of my anarchy components on the entire map are broken, which I have never had that happen in the past. And what might have happened? How could this have broken? Anything that I've done wrong, or is it just tough luck when anarchy initialize or something? Just so I don't repeat this. And have a good night, Triton. Thanks for tuning in. And I do see there is an ad break in 10 seconds, so I'm going to send you guys on one last quick UFO ride while I run to the toilet, and then we'll play a little more, and then I'm going to head to bed, and I guess most of you are also going to head to bed, knowing my old boomer viewers. All right, Gaga, if you can still hear me, but the ad break has not started yet.
Bye, have a great
Have an
time.
absolute wonderful good night. And same goes for you, Triton. I will be back in 3 minutes. Well,
Bye,
okay,
have a great
and
time.
same for you as well, StarQ. Have a good night, everybody, then. I will be right back. Bye-bye.
Bye, have a great time.
That's what she said.
Hey, I'm back. And yeah, Q-Boyd, you were onto something. I'm very used to it by now, to be honest, but My chat mainly consists of people who are fairly old and European. So between 11 and 12 o'clock, it generally is time for everybody to go sleep, and my chat empties out pretty harshly till more of the US people have time on their evening. Or there is people like Obelix who only lives during the night, I assume. So Obelix usually joins my chat right when I'm about to go to bed. Well, yes, Stark, you are not part of the European crew. I know. I didn't. You were not included in this, but many other people were. What confuses me so much about the anarchy thingy, though, is that, for example, in the favela, everything is fine. Like here, when I look at it in the anarchy overlay, even here there is more non. I take it back. Even here there is more non-anarchy stuff than there should be. It really does look like my entire build's anarchy components reset. Not everywhere. Like obviously all of this still has it. But yeah, in many areas for some reason it did disappear. Like all of these staircases, all of this should have anarchy. I assume that means you're on night shift, Chaos, and the cleaning lady is probably soon gonna come and vacuum around your desk. If so, I hope you had a nice and an uneventful shift. Or it depends. Actually, I know many people like uneventful shift. I always, in the past, preferred busy work days because I think the time goes over a lot faster if there is stuff happening. Yes, I generally I have a very good opinion of you, but then with everything you told us about the cleaning lady, you have to be the most dirty person in your entire workplace, as it seems like your company has hired an entire cleaning lady to literally just clean around you constantly. So I'm not saying that probably means you're slightly dirty, but things are pointing towards something, yes? And yeah, this anarchy thing, I do think I'm probably gonna hit a stream ending very soon as well. Because wholeheartedly, if I have to fix my entire build's anarchy, and if the alternative is just re-rolling to a save from a week ago or something, I would rather do that, and I don't want to redraw all of these surfaces we're drawing today in case I have to do that. Yeah, no, I guess what we can do instead is have a second. I can ask you guys a few questions about the assets that I have to fix up. First thing, if you guys look at this town hall, would you guys like an undecorated version? All of this is fairly pre-detailed and has it around. Obviously, you can just take better bulldozer and delete everything. But I noticed that some people also just add a duplicated version that is plain and blank. Is that something you guys would care about? Because the mesh of this is quite small, right? Like you could fit this in a lot smaller lot if I make a non-detailed version with a smaller lot border around it as well. And I'm curious if that would be appreciated or not. Because I'm never sure on the one hand, I like the flexibility it adds. On the other hand, I also dislike having all of these things multiple times in the UI. This guy always does so, for example. He always has a decorated and an undecorated version, but then you also have everything in there twice. Yeah, I mean, the trees is because my weather or my time of the year is autumn, right? I have my game perma-locked in autumn because I don't want stuff to be green in the desert, but this is how it would look otherwise. I think in green, the trees are actually okay. And with vegetation, I do have to say that vegetation to me is something where I really struggle with including it. Because in general, I would say vegetation is so unique to every build, where every build really has their own aesthetics in these kind of things, that I find it difficult to include vegetation, as it feels like most people just delete it anyways. But all of the vanilla assets also add vegetation, and then people just delete it. So I decided to rather add it, and then people who don't like it can delete it out by themselves over not having it. But I'm very open to any kind of critic in that sense, because I'm not sure which is the best there either. And the other one might be color variations. Let's hold on. Do we have all color variations here? No, we have 2 color variations here. Let's take that last one as well, the reddest one. What do we think about Chaos? You're the only one who's not sleeping yet, it seems like, so you get a lot of power of decision. You you can bully my color variations. What we recolor in this, you can recolor the walls, you can recolor the concrete, and you can recolor the roof. And the 3 color variations I've given is a very typical brick building. Then it's a bit of a more US orange brick building. Especially in Arizona, you have these orange bricks, a shitload. And we have this beige, even more deserty version, I guess. Is there anything about these colors either we don't like, or is there something about these colors that we would like to have added? Because I can very easily change all of these. And I'm fairly unsure, but I did add something that I will appreciate a lot in future if it lets me grab it. Look, I added this block, and it's always at ground size, and it has no yellow variation anymore. So I love it. No more having to lower this. It's literally a vanilla mesh. I just made a copy of it and adjusted the mesh slightly. But I'm gonna use this a lot in future. Yeah, I don't know why nobody did this before, because I know that 90% of us are using this prop for doing this. So I don't know why nobody ever took the time to turn this into a proper asset. Yeah, I do think actually, to be honest, Chaos, that they look better in a non-desert map. because all of my detailing around here, obviously, in my desert build, I would delete everything. Like, we would just go in and delete all of the vegetation and most of the stuff, and then replace it. Also, something that I never showed about these town halls, because again, I don't want to play so much anymore because of the anarchy thingy. Want to figure that out, but as a last thing before I'm gonna get ready for bed, I actually want to show you guys something. Or we even have this here. Look, if we go into this, we also have this, which we need to. Okay, now I turn it. I added quite a few things as props as well. So you have the awning as well, which you can place, which also the awning belongs here is an upgrade. I put this as an upgrade because I know a lot of people care about stuff being, how do you call this in English? Symmetric, my bad. It's a very small upgrade. It's barely worth it to have this as upgrade. But I wanted people to be able to decide if they think they want this there or not, as I think this kinda makes this very unsymmetric, which I personally really like, but I'm not sure everybody will like. So I made this modular, and one of the things where I'm a bit confused that this does not show individual in the UI, because I thought I added them. Oh yeah, it does. I need to recheck why they are not in the vanilla UI. But these staircases, I also added them. So if you want a staircase like this for something in the future, I don't believe you anymore again, though. I'm glad you came back, and I'm happy you came back. But I don't trust you. Even when I end my stream, you will still be here. Case is absolutely onto something. But yes, these staircases are also individual. I'm not sure how much usage they will find anywhere. But potentially you can place all of these by yourself as well. And then all of these light sources that I talked about, where I adjusted the colors from, I also turned these into normal props. So
Bye,
if you
have a
want to
great time.
use any of these lights here, you are totally free to do that. And then these will be exactly like in my asset and will have a very different light color than the vanilla ones. So I don't know. Again, with all of these, I'm never sure what to make modular and what not to do modular, but I do think it makes sense to at least give some of the nicer props out as well. So all of these are added as additional props. I think the one I do like the most, which makes sense because I also make the lamp by myself, is this one. I really like this lamp. Yeah, I always make I think I'm one of the few people. I always make sure that it is in the vanilla UI, and I also always make sure that the vanilla UI and the find it UI are matching, because I hate it if things are in different categories in vanilla and in find it. I don't know why that happens in some of the things, but it does happen for a lot of assets, because I guess people don't recheck where their stuff is going. But yeah, I'm absolutely not a fan of it, so that's always something I do pay attention to. And then on top of that, my packs usually have something like this, so you can always click the asset icon, and then you just get everything from that specific pack, right? Oh, actually, it makes sense. These are just not in the same one. But yes, if you want to have everything from my pack, you will have these small filters for it as well. And everything that I ever made, if you type cheeky in there, well, any of the new things, The old graffiti and EIA stuff, they all will not show up, but any of my new things that I've made will always show up if you type cheeky. And with that, I think I'm already gonna end today on a short note. I did very much enjoy streaming and finding the time to stream again. So I'm sure I will stream very soon again. But this anarchy reset issue is throwing me off so much that I do want to try to fix that, or at least figure out where the cause is before I keep billing out longer, and it's just stuff that I'm gonna have to throw away and redo anyways. So I do think I'm gonna have a quick look on Twitch who is streaming, and hopefully there is somebody nice I can rate you guys out to. So in the meanwhile, I'm gonna put you guys on a nice position where, again, due to the issues we had today, maybe there is stuff missing. And yeah, shame on me for not having managed to stream in so long. I hope I manage a bit more again in these next few days, and I'm gonna make sure that I'll figure out where the anarchy issue is, and then we can fully and properly detail stuff again. And thank you for tuning in. Even if I would not be streaming, I would just be playing by myself and be more bored while doing so. So always nice to have you cuties in here. Jedi is playing Cities. I like what I see, and I have not raided Jedi in a while. I will raid you guys out to Jedi. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks for the nice words, Graham. As always, thank you, cuties, so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful evening. I will try my best to manage to stream again in Monday or Tuesday. As always, I sadly can never guarantee it, but let's hope. I just waited for you, Jelly. I could smell you coming back, and immediately I decided, okay, it's time to yeet and run away. Obviously, I'm kidding. I'm sad that we miss each other, but it is what it is. So I wish all of you cuties an absolutely wonderful evening and enjoy your time over at Jedi. And again, I hope I manage to stream at the start of the week, but no promises. With that, bye bye. Have an absolutely wonderful night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And greetings to our dear friend Jedi over there. Bye bye, cuties. Have a nice night.